Welcome to the Wine Zone. I'm Konrad Ejbich, and this is Pro and Con on the Road. My guest today is Christy Canterbury, a master of wine, lives in New York, and helps Americans find the great wines. Christy has been traveling, has been visiting the Niagara region, and I think you saw Prince Edward County as well.
I did not.
You did not?
Well, this time, but that's on the list for next time.
So she's seen
Top of the bucket list.
the Niagara Peninsula and has been tasting all kinds of wines, reds and whites. We're actually at the 3rd annual International Cool Climate Chardonnay celebration, which has been focusing on Chardonnay, but as you can see, we're a little tired of Chardonnay.
It's all been very good, but it's time for a break.
Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
So you've been visiting a lot of, I imagine you've had a chance to see a few wineries, and you've tasted a lot of Chardonnays and a little more. Is there anything that's really stood out for you?
I would say the style of Niagara, Ontario wines, because I want to include the county as well, really stand out for me. They are, generally speaking, with very few exceptions, elegant, food-worthy, texturally nuanced, generally quite low in alcohol. And I don't mean low as an 8%. I mean, 12.5%, 13.5%.
They're not monster
They're not
wines.
14.5%, 15.5%. They are enjoyed to sit alone with food. They are fragranced. Sometimes they're a little more New World. Sometimes they're a little more Old World. Sometimes they're in between. Blind tasting, they can be a bit confusing, but in the most delightful way.
Right, now you've obviously had a chance to taste a lot of different wines. Was there any specific variety that stood out for you as exceptional, or are they just across the board all great?
Well, I probably don't have enough experience to say they're all great, but certainly the Rieslings are off the charts. I've done 2 10-year verticals of Rieslings.
Excellent.
While I've been here at Flat Rock and the Cave Spring.
Yes.
Stunning wines. I tasted both of those wines at my last Monodrail conference, which was just 3 days ago at Riesling Rendezvous in Seattle. Brilliant wines. Fantastic Chardonnay here, made in so many different styles. You can find the massive breadth that you need, from the clean, the pure, the easygoing, to the complex and slightly unusual oxidative styles. It's all made here in Ontario.
And it's interesting that you said that they're food-friendly wines. They are, and I imagine that you're thinking because of the higher acidity, because it's a cooler climate. Higher acidity works well with rich foods. Were there any matches that really worked well for you in what you've experienced?
Gosh, in particular, well, yesterday I was having a couple of different dishes by Stephen Treadwell, chef who just opened up on Niagara on the Lake.
I think you were at Southbrook.
I was actually at Stratus.
I'm sorry, at Stratus. At Stratus. Stephen was at Stratus.
We had a couple of exceptional wines on the lighter style, paired with some scallops, and then with some smoked trout. Those worked very well. Kind of moving into something a little more nuanced, a little more richness, a little more laziness. So not necessarily a fruit forward style one. We had a bunch of different local summer mushrooms on a toast. That worked really well. And then we moved to kind of bigger, blousier styles of wine, a little more hip swinging action.
Yeah.
And with that, we had a confit and chicken leg. And so that was just really nice to see a breadth of different styles of food with a lot of different kinds of wines, all that cleanse the palate, all that complement the food, and all slightly different and showing different perspectives and vintages of Niagara, Ontario wines.
Now, I would imagine that since you are based in New York City, one of the biggest problems for you in accessing these wines again. These wines are not easily available in New York.
There are probably about 4 or 5 wineries that I am aware of, doesn't mean there aren't more, that do export and that are present in New York. We have one importer in particular, Artisan Wines, who has been quite a fan of wines from this region. So those are available. What I have found, I was trying to track down last summer some Prince Edward County wines, and every time they came into the market, and I was talking directly with the producer, so the producer would let me know when the wines were coming into New York. They would get to a store, and before I could get them, they'd be sold out. So the store was only ordering a case or two, kind of as a, we'll see how it goes. And even knowing that I knew they were there and was actively looking for them, I never got a single bottle. So that's a bit of a challenge, even when you're kind of talking to both ends of the equation. So.
Well, it sounds like Canadian wines are a little bit of a cult phenomenon in New York. I know that one of the places you can access a lot of Canadian wines, particularly Riesling, which you like the Rieslings, is at Hearth, where Paul Greco is the sommelier in
That's
chief.
right, summer Riesling. Riesling overlord, Mr. Greco.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, they are certainly there. I know that a lot of New York sommeliers would love to have some of the Ontario wines on the list. I've heard it from them. I've heard it from producers who want to export to them. We just need to get the people that are bringing in wines into New York to pick up the wines.
That's right.
I have to say, another thing I find remarkable is that so many of the wines are so reasonably priced. I would almost call it charity. And I hope clearly it's not that everyone's running a business, but the wines are really well priced. Some of the Cabernet Francs that you and I were tasting this morning here were at Ravine Vineyard. They were really inexpensive, $24, $30, $35 is a maximum. Most of them were $24. And yesterday, a heart-stoppingly delicious Angel's Gate Chardonnay, 2009 old vines. Some of the first vines that were planted
40
in Niagara.
vines, that's right.
Yep, original for Enniskillen. Now they're no longer put into the Enniskillen wines. Fantastic wine. Again, about $25.
That's right. That's right. It's amazingly cheap
Beautiful
here.
wines.
If you can think of 25
Restrained.
bucks as being cheap.
Yeah, no, and certainly that's not for everyone every night. But when I think about if I'm mostly when I'm at home, maybe I'm a lot of times when I'm at home at night, I'm working and trying to get things done. So I open up something inexpensive, under $20, have a glass or two while I'm trying to finish up things. But I would happily spend another $5 to upgrade to some of these Ontario wines that are delicious and lovely,
And vibrant.
I might have a third glass.
We won't tell
But
anybody.
they're only 12.5% alcohol, so maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
Not all of them, obviously, but
Right.
they're reasonable in alcohol, so it's not like having another 14.5% glass.
Right. Is there a single wine that you're really excited about having bought here or accessed here or been given here that you're taking home?
Well, I won't. I have to say that it's hard to pick favorites always, but some of the Gamay here has been off the charts, and I would say that the two that stole my heart, and I know there is a third, just whisked it right away, were the Malabar.
Excellent.
Just actually when I met the winemaker, the first thing that I said to him was thank you instead of nice to meet you.
And
Simply because his wines are fantastic.
And the funny thing
Full
is
of
that the winemaker for that Gamay at Malabar, his name is Shiraz.
Exactly.
Right.
Hilarious.
That was fun.
No, but lots of talent there. I can't wait to see where those wines go.
Great.
I'm taking one of those home with me.
Great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in and thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you for asking me to be here. It was great to chat with you. Great to be in Ontario and taste all their wines.
And thank you for watching. We'll have more wonderful, interesting guests here on Pro and Con soon. You can just click the button that says subscribe and you can access all the past interviews and get notifications of all the future ones. Thank you. Until the next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers.